So who's your comedy hero and why?
Well, my comedy hero would probably be Alan Corran, I should think, who is not, he was never a stand-up comedian. He did occasionally perform on panel games, but he was mainly a writer. He was the first adult humorist I became aware of, and I judged everyone else by his standards. Douglas Adams was another one, Woodhouse, S.J. Perelman. All those writers who used language with a kind of knowing wink, a little bit of quite droll, dry, could use understatement and overstatement very deftly for comic purposes.
So what is your favourite ever heckle, if there's a favourite for a heckle?
My favourite heckle, I suppose, in order to express the general, the gratitude that is appropriate, would be "Where are your eyes?" Which was a heckle to which I was subjected at the famous Institute for Heckling at Up the Creek Comedy Club in Deptford. They had some very, very accurate and deadly hecklers who used to sit at the back and really take pleasure in it. And it was treated then as a proper art form, which was fine. 9 times out of 10 heckles are tiresome, drunken, outbursts that make no sense. But Where Are Your Eyes got a huge laugh in the room, because when I'm on stage, as you will see if you buy the DVD, it's very hard to see my eyes, and they appear not to be there at all. They appear to be just a couple of sort of vestigial, eye sockets. So that got a big laugh, and it quite upset me, and I didn't understand, and I didn't know what they meant, and I left the stage in confusion. But afterwards somebody explained and why it was funny, and I thought about it, and I thought, well, if that's the case, then I should probably be getting the laughs with that line rather than leaving it to the hecklers. So I built it into my act fairly quickly after that, and developed probably a good 3 or 4 minute routine out of it, which became almost to the extent that I have one at all, a signature routine, I would say.
So if you weren't a comedian, what would you be?
Well, I studied law at university, and I wanted to become a barrister. And in a way, I have, of course, managed to do the things that appeal to me about that job are there in the stand-up comedy, standing in front of strangers and telling lies for a living.
Why should we buy your DVD for Christmas over maybe some other comedians?
There are a lot of other comedians offering their wares at Christmas, and obviously comedy is hugely subjective. So I won't presume that to convince you that my style of comedy is any superior to other offers. And if you're just thinking, should I buy a comedy DVD at all for yourself, or certainly as a gift, bear in mind that most gifts take up unwanted house room, gather dust, or put a kind of an onus of responsibility on the recipient to develop some new skill, which is tiresome. People buy books for people that encourage them to learn how to do watercolour paint. Nobody has time for that anymore. If you buy somebody a comedy DVD, the worst that you're expecting of them is to spend an evening watching it, and then it's over, it's done, and they won't hate you for having given them some, loom or something which they're expected to master. So I would say comedy DVDs are excellent presents in that respect. They take up very little room. You can remove the actual DVD and put it into a wallet, and it's virtually invisible in any home. And I think that's a very, very important consideration.